You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, guys. So, welcome back to Loud and Proud Orlando here on another Tuesday night to talk all about Orlando Pride. Luis, how are you?
Good. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty interesting week coming up for the Pride. They're going to Bay to the West Coast and trying to grab the 3 points. And they have an interesting road ahead to continue their undefeated streak. Hopefully.
For sure. I mean, it was an exciting game on Friday night. Lots of people there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, tell you about what's coming up on the show today. Of course, we're going to review the KC current draw. Then we're also going to talk about Morgan Cottrell and her new contract. I've been practicing how to say her name correctly, Luis, so that we don't butcher it. And then also we got to preview the game coming up on Friday against Bay FC, and also we're going to do a little score prediction on that match as well. So it's going to be an exciting show here tonight. Drop your comments. Welcome back to the Pride Pod, Luis. It was a very exciting night on Friday. I was really hyped for this one. Did you feel that energy around the building on Friday? Oh, now you're muted. We're a mess today.
No, sorry about that. No, yeah, for sure. It was an amazing, almost 10,000 people. I think they were 300 short to get to the 10K. So it was pretty awesome to see, so many people supporting the Pride. And I hope that continues along as they hit the playoffs, because this is, having the 12th man in the playoffs is super important. And they're super close to get become Shield. I think the actual gap is increasing. Even with this draw, the gap is increasing, and I feel like right now, I know Banda is going through a little bit of a scoring drought here and there, but I mean she's overpowering. She's a Ballon d'Or nominee, and it shows. She's definitely an important part. KC also played very well defensively. Their right back and left back, both of them played a great game. One of them neutralized Adriana completely. She couldn't really penetrate the defense as she usually does, and that really was it. And then we have Corey Dyke, handling Chewinga like it's butter on bread. It was pretty impressive. You know.
For sure, all those things, definitely true. I agree. Here's the table. We're talking about that. We're now 4 points up above Washington as the stand, so still in a good position. I mean, I feel like we're so conditioned to be a winning scoring team right now that a nil-nil, was like, it's disappointing in some ways, but it shouldn't be because of the team and the way that how good they are, and the fact we didn't let them score. We just also couldn't score. It was kind of a bit of a stalemate between two big teams, and that can happen. But also it was an exciting match. And I think on another day it could have gone either way, Luis. Right? We could have taken our chances. They could have taken a chance. It just kind of was one of the days for defenses. It was the day for the goalkeepers. It was a day for the center backs and the fullbacks. Instead of a day that we all thought was going to be for Banda and Chewinga, ends up being the stars of the players trying to stop Banda and Chewinga. So a great game overall. And let's kind of get into it, Luis. Do you have the highlights, or I'll pull them up? First, can you read some comments while I do that?
Sure. It says Rachel LFG, J Texas. Both defenses from each team showed out this game. Better be conservative with the attack and worry about Chewinga breaking free. No, I agree on that. I mean, I'm not displeased with the result. even though there's some people that may be a little disappointed, but I feel like, Kansas already kind of, we have a little bit of a rivalry with them, and they took it very serious. And Vlatko doesn't play, and he made the right changes at the right time, and also Seb. So it was pretty even Stevens. Now they're fourth, we are first, and the gap is increasing tremendously right now. It's only 4 points, but like I said, Bay is a very attainable result, and I think that could definitely, if one of the people below us fall, we can definitely gain a even bigger margin of a distance.
Yeah, we just gotta, I mean, obviously remaining undefeated is a great thing, and then we want to continue that, and but also, we gotta do what we do and like keep scoring again and get some more goals because it's not been like bad situation, but I would like to see us, kind of get back into the scoring habits a little bit. We need to see that going forward. I think that's something that not like we have a problem with, but like we've just kind of haven't really been getting our chances, taking our chances in the last couple games. And if we want to continue like we have from the beginning of the season, Luis, we just got to get back into that rhythm. But I think that'll come. I think it's just a matter of time. All righty, let's see highlights here from this game.
For a rather temperate night in Central Florida. Kansas City says they're ahead of schedule. Orlando leads the way. Marta gets the first touch. We're underway. Chawinga spotting in the pocket. Debinha. Wheeler into the width. Wheeler hangs the cross up. Mace is there. It's going to slip wide.
Mace is, had a great game.
Yeah, Mace was balling.
Yeah, Mace had a great game against Hatriana, and just she's big. She's a unit. He's just wide, broad shoulders. She was using her power.
If Orlando does pick off the ball and look to go quickly.
Angelina. Good from Abello. Yates. Bello. Marta. In attack mode. Marta! Ball knocked out and held by Schultz.
Because Banda
Kansas goalkeeper had a good night too.
Sharple's next to her.
Oh, for sure, yeah. She had a very good night. I think a big difference from the first time we played them. Obviously they had some issues with goalkeeper, and Schultz looks, like she's a top class goalkeeper and makes some good saves in this game.
Marta scored similarly against Chicago on the road last week, a 1-0 win over the Red Stars. We will see later tonight when they take on Portland.
Ball and Mace had a great game. I mean, it was just, and then Orlando had the transition game, the pressing, and I think this was, to me, one of the most exciting games they had, even though it was a 0-0 draw, because it's just like, both teams were showing their best, and it just, you could feel it, and they both kind of were neutralizing each other. So for some people, that may be a little boring, but to me, it's definitely not. I feel like it's fun to see two powerhouses face each other,
It's the kind of game where if you took like somebody for the first time and they'd be like, oh yeah, but like nobody scored, but you're like, yeah, but did you feel like that? Like, there were so many of those moments in this game where it's like, oh my God, so many close maybe moments. And it was like Rachel said here, like Flacco said, it was like a chess match. It's a bit like that, it was their tactics versus our tactics. And, could they stop Barbara, and could we stop Chawinga? And there's just so many different pieces out there on the field. Like we got Labonta and Marta, and just so many pieces that could change the game at any time. It's so difficult. I think the two head coaches were kind of doing a bit of a chess match, but also I think sometimes it's just those games, right? At least you see it, like it happens, like you'll get Man City Arsenal and it'll be a 0-0 because they just kind of cancel each other out, and they have that, they build it up, all the hype like this one. And then it was one of those games where nobody scores. That doesn't mean that the game wasn't entertaining. I definitely felt like there was a great atmosphere in this match.
The Banda just inside the picture. Sharple's next to her.
You're muted, John.
Sorry, buddy. What you're saying about the press is exactly here on display. I think is a great example of how well, like, look at the front 3 and 4, and they don't get the ball, but because of their pressure, that we end up getting the ball in this scenario here.
Marta scored similarly against Chicago on the road last week, a 1-0 win over the Red Stars. We will see later tonight when they take on Portland at Providence Park. Ball turned over and into the pocket, Banda. Banda somehow got a shot away, and Schultz allows that to glide by.
Well, it doesn't need much room to get that shot off.
No, you do that to Bay,
now, give it a little bit more
and I mean, they're gonna open the door of the. It's like the 3 little pigs, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna just, it's like blowing the. It's like blowing the house down, with like their backline is made of straw. And
I think the Kansas City is backline. I mean, I don't think defense is their main strength, but they did have a much better game defensively than when we last played them, and I think that's something they're obviously working on. We have a more complete game, I think, than them, both with offense and attack. I think their defense is good, but ours is better. And we just weren't able to, I think one of those nights where maybe we just didn't have our scoring boots on. That's what I'd say.
We've seen as of late, especially in those central areas.
Look at that right there.
Davinia. Trailing. Deep Bernardo. Ball knocked out by Morehouse. And pouncing Isabello to center.
Adam Morehouse there with another great save.
Yeah, and DiBernardo had a great first half, and then she was just like non-existent after that. She had a shot, and then the Pride back line had probably one of their best games, in my opinion. It was just unreal, and without Rafa too. And you had Corey Dyke, man. I mean, again, we'll discuss it in a little bit. And Carrie Avello, both from Penn State. Their soccer program is like phenomenal, if not the best in the U.S. Like, I mean, at least one of the best for sure. I mean, it's showing.
Perfect position to clear it out, screening the attacker for Kansas City.
Turning Adriana. The world at her feet. Adriana went to that far post, and Schultz.
And she could have done more there, for sure.
I feel like this was not a great night for Adriana overall. I think she struggled with Mace. I know she was getting they targeted her in that way. She was getting double teamed over in the corner there, but she needed to try something different. She kept trying to do the same thing, and she tried to go 1v1, and that might be what Seb was telling her. I just want you to go out there and try and take them on and get past them. But after the whole first half of that not working, she needed to really kind of come up with a second game plan. And this was one of the few times where she actually got in a decent position so she could have a shot. And it just was a poor shot. I just think she stayed on for the whole game, Luis. And that's one that I think maybe we should have subbed. I would have liked to have seen Julie Dora, Ali Watt come on at some point. I think Seb's choice there, obviously he's much better. He's the coach, whatever. You could say I'm just an armchair analyst, but I just don't think she had a good game, and I would have taken her off as opposed to some of the other players that he took off. What do you think about her performance? Because I know might be controversial.
Well, I mean, I feel she was really neutralized by the. I kept seeing when Mays was having a little bit of trouble, you have Ball actually going to the other side, and it was double marking her. So she had a tough time penetrating. One thing I do want to say is, when you have to pass the ball, when you have to pass it back, don't just turn it over. And when you have players available, it's either you take it on and you know that you probably get neutralized by Mace, or you pass it to Banda. You had Marta, so there's just it's just a matter of
exactly. She needed to look for the pass when
right
she realized
decisions.
she couldn't.
Right.
Exactly, and that's what was
Right.
frustrating me. And I think
you don't want a ball hog.
Yeah, and I
because
think
especially in
also
the playoffs,
on the
it's
other
only
side, she wasn't pressing. Like I remember at one point, I saw Haley like pointing at her, being like Adriana, you need to step up, you need to press. Like, we need to make sure that we're doing that. Even for it's as important for Adriana as it's for anybody else. Even though she's just a right winger, she still needs to be pressing up there to keep the line. So I just think it wasn't her best game, and it might just be a one-off, but I think it gets to the point where if she can't go past the player in front of her, that's it. Like that, you know what I mean? If she beats the player in that game, or she won't beat the player. And so she needs to kind of think about a little bit more, okay, if I can't get past them, what can I do? Can I pass? Can I cross? How else can I use my skills instead of just continuously trying to get past them? And that was just evident here where Mace kept stopping her.
There again.
Right now, Kansas City will be happy with some of those attempts from long range. Easy in the end for Schultz. But eventually, a defender is going to have to step out. And then that's when they're going to look for a little combination, 2v1.
That right there, look at Carrie. You see how she stopped? You see how she stopped the transition with like one move?
I don't know if any team has really put that type of pressure.
And she cleared the ball in the midst of it. Like that's just
try aspects of that in this game, pick their moments, but especially when Bia is on a rock.
I know Summer lost the ball a few times there. Like there was a little bit of that going on. I think we were very keen to try and generate stuff, and sometimes that can happen where you're just, not getting.
I saw Haley McCutcheon very vocal the whole entire game. Pretty much she and how lucky the Pride is to have her, because she's to me the most consistent player in the team. And again, I'm not knocking everybody down. I'm not knocking, certainly not Banda, not nobody in the team, but I feel like if you ask me, Lewis, who is the most consistent player in the team, like every day you see the same performance or even a little better, is Haley McCutcheon. And in this game, she had a lot of I feel like I wonder if she does like yoga, cobra poses after the games, like a lot of these players, because dude, she ran like if it was maybe a triathlon, dude. Like she was like defending, and then transition, and then yelling at Summer to make sure she's in her spot, make sure Adriana is also open, she's like, where do I pass the ball, so she was so vocal, kind of like commanding the mid, kind of like a co-captain in a way, kind of. It was pretty impressive, and she's had such a massive season. And I felt that when Morgan came in, Morgan kind of helped her out a little bit there, and it's just kind of, made a little things easier for her. But either way, I just wanted to say that because in the B-roll that the club usually puts out, and we put out too, you could see her like going like, "Hey, wake up!" like, "Hey,
I was talking about
stay compact." Like, so
a lot, like a game like this where you've got La Bonta and you've got Dabinia in there and Di Bernardo, it's you need like a really solid 2-8s. Like I think Angelina is great, but she's not like a really defensive player. She's much more of an attack-minded player in that D-mid role. So that's why I think we saw Morgan come on. But most of the time, it's like Haley is the one locking it down a lot in that midfield position. So yeah, I think there was a few occasions here where we like not like bad, but it was like surprising where we just were a little bit sloppy, gave the ball away. Something that we haven't seen this Orlando Pride team really do at all this season. And we always recover well from that. But I think there was a little bit of nerves. Do you feel like it was very tense first half, Luis? Like it was a lot of like sort of, like sort of game where they don't want to make a mistake and then they accidentally make mistakes because you're trying not to.
Yeah, but then also you have to, they probably watch film, and that's one thing that they watch. KC watch film from the last game, and they were trying to amend the mistakes they had in the first game, and also they were trying to probably figure out what is Sep gonna do, right? And so, kudos to them because I mean they gave them, I think this was the game that they were the most, challenged the most, in my opinion, right? Now, I would have loved to see maybe if Adriana wasn't working, maybe see Julie Doyle and Dolgen together. I think Dolgen came in and she's such a player, man. Like she's such a threat, on the 1v1 and
Yeah.
defending too. So
Interesting her on the left wing because we've only ever seen her as like a right winger. Like I see her as like an out and out right winger. Like, but when you put her on that left side attacking role, she'll like cut inside on her right foot, which she was doing. I think they try to put her out there to cause problems and draw defenders and get close to Banda. And she did a good job. And
yeah, phenomenal job.
from what it sounded like Seb was, and like the reason we didn't see Ali and Julie is because he sees them more as like better for transition, and like they're more speed players, not necessarily like technical tricky players. Whereas he wanted players that could unlock the defense on their own, which is probably why he left Adriana on and why he brought Evelina on. And I can understand that. Like it's that kind of game where it needed a moment of brilliance from one of these stars to break the deadlock. And it just didn't come, and we ended up with a 0-0. We got a few more comments. Stream Jesus has a crush on number 9, Adriana. He says respectfully. Well, that's
always Jesus.
Jay Texas says I would love to see Evelina Duljan start one of these games. I think that's Seb was talking about. They're really happy with her development and how much you can see she's went from the beginning of the season. We never saw her at all. And now, she's really showing like what she can do and developing confidence in this league. And I think it's going to be an asset in the playoffs that we can use off the bench, or if we need to maybe get some starts at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like against, and we'll talk about Bay in just a moment, but we have a schedule that we may need to want to rest some players. Game by game. I just feel like we've seen, even if we put our B team, we've seen that B team like getting results. We saw it at the Summer Cup. Bay is trying to cement and increase their lead to get to the playoffs. Also, you have to understand you cannot take Bay lightly, because if this remains like this, more than likely, I think we're going to be facing Bay in the playoffs. I think does it go like the first one with the last one? Yeah, so we're probably going to be facing Bay. So.
Yeah, they're in that mix. So let's finish the highlights and then we'll get into some other stuff.
Comes back onto the field. Can they utilize her in that press as well to turn this team over?
She may well be good for 30 minutes tonight. Here's Shawinga. Shawinga went for goal. That's simple for Anna Morehouse. You will see Sophia Smith later this evening. Kickoff 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific in Portland.
Man, she's so fast.
Shawinga!
Oh man,
that's the only person that I've ever seen just like floor Emily Sams like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know Emily Sams could go on the floor like that.
Look, I want to show you something.
Shawinga just
let me see if I can find
came out of nowhere. Like she's so fast, man. I mean, seeing that speed in person, is just she's insanely fast and insanely strong and just a great player. And we did well, but like here, I mean, poof.
Look, I just want to show you real quick before we continue.
I think
you're talking about
balance.
Yeah, like we're talking about Chawinga. Thank you to Area Sports Network. Bro, look at these legs, man.
Yeah, the thighs are insane.
Bro, Facundo Torres, I'm sorry, bro. Look like chicken legs compared to Chewinga's legs. Like, look at this other picture right here. Like, this is no joke. Like,
Yeah.
this is no joke, man.
And also,
Look at this, man.
all of this just goes into, the praise of what we should be saying is like, how did Corey Dyke
Corey Dyke, man.
Mark Chewinga?
Penn State.
Corey Dyke. I mean,
God.
I don't like to be a doubter, Luis, but when we're looking at this lineup, and I was like, how are we going to get exposed by KC Current? First thing you're thinking, okay, well, out of our back line, Corey's the one with the least experience in there. Corey's the one who's got to face up most of the time to Chewinga. They're probably going to target her. They did all of that, and Corey knew all of that was going to happen. Obviously, trained for this moment. Watch film and all of these things on Chewinga, but you got to go out there and you got to, like she said in post, like you got to use your instincts, and that's what she did. It just was such an impressive performance, and I think the way that if you're going to be able to defend one of the best players in the league, like potentially the best player in the league outside of Banda, like that, then that's we get a performance like that out of Corey Dyke in a championship final. That's how you win it. That's how you win a game.
That's how you win championship.
If you can have a player in your team that can neutralize the opposition's incredible asset like Chewinga, just like Emily Sams does, the numerous center forwards, and Carrie Abello does on the other side. So we were kind of missing that star right back, and Corey's throwing her hat in the ring, being like, "Yo, it's my job. Watch, I can mark Chewinga."
It was so impressive to see Corey Dyke do that. And my hat's off to her. And she always praises where she comes from. She praised Penn State. Like she pretty much said Penn State helped me like kind of navigate like this type of a stress level. And hell, I think also I do want to say is kudos on Seb, because I guarantee you they were thinking Emily Sams was going to be there. So maybe Chewinga watched film of Sams, you know what I mean? And just didn't know that Corey Dyke, was going to have the spot. And it was, is the element of also unpredictability, right? And a little bit of drive. And I think that's what happened here. Determination, drive, and a little bit of unpredictability. I think, it has happened against the best. You always have, an unexpected, performance that, you being like quoted the best player in the league, you may be neutralized by somebody that you may not even know they existed, and in my opinion, I think Corey had a performance of like national team performance. Like, I mean, I know it sounds a little like, like super hyped up right now, but I mean, it was super impressive. Not only what Corey did, but the whole back line, but mainly Corey because of Chewinga. I mean, that was just like, amazing.
For sure. Let's carry on with the highlights.
Oh, wow. Chewinga rounds the keeper and put it wide.
The international could get
On that one, Luis, Rachel says Anna's timing was perfect there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did like what else can you do? At that point, you got to just throw yourself out there.
Later this evening, kickoff 10 p.m.
You gotta try and do something to distract away and keep the ball away. And look at Corey. Don't talk about it right here, Luis. There's Corey Dyke's determination. She's like, I'm gonna get back on the line.
Like, I'm gonna get there, dude.
Another way, this is something I see Pride players do all the time. If Anna comes out to get the ball, this is definitely something Seb has trained into them.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately somebody gets on the line, and that's like old school English. Like, it's not something I see a lot in modern football. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't always
see the championship.
You should see guys. They should have players. That's a great tactic. Put your center backs. If the keeper comes out, center backs go behind them, get on the line, because you might be able to make something. But Anna does enough, and And Chewinga is that same problem with Barbara, where she likes to keep drifting so far wide and she doesn't lift her head up and just shoots it wide.
Rounds the keeper and put it wide.
Put it
Yeah,
wide
and
on
you
empty
know,
net.
yeah, it
pretty
is
much.
very smart because not only Anna, how she threw her body, to the left, kind of closing her range to actually curve the shot, and also then you have Corey. She runs so fast there. It also interfered with her vision there. So, I mean, phenomenal defending. I mean, just like Jennifer says right here, it's proper defense.
It's
That's right.
proper defense. That's what it is, Luis. Proper defense,
Proper.
mate. Proper, innit?
It's-
All right, there you go. That was my English accent for you guys, if you've never heard it. Luis, let's get back to the highlights.
International could get about 30 minutes in this game.
Bounced off Labonta. The Queen
Look at that.
Rosselli. Oh, wow. Banda!
Oh, what a
What a
save,
save.
man.
Tip over from Schultz.
I mean,
Schultz was on point in this game, dude.
yeah. She was like the battle of the keepers a lot of the time, right? There was some epic saves from Anna, some epic saves
Look
from
at the guy
Schultz.
behind. Look at the guy at the
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
at the capo
You couldn't
stand.
believe it. The wall was like, this girl is the wall in front of the wall. Yeah, she's
La Pulpa.
yeah, she's the kind of keeper that you want if you're going for yeah. I think they had an issue before with AD France, who was an incredible keeper in her own right. In fact, like holds records in the league. But clearly Schultz is a big step up in that department right now.
It can happen in the blink of an eye. Ricochets up toward Corey Dyke. Back down the width. Marta sends it from McCutcheon.
Oh man, I felt so.
What a ball by Marta.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Marta, but I just felt terrible for Haley because that would have been great if she would have scored that one.
That would be an insane goal for Haley to score if she just there's probably something they've been trying. We might see that more often. I noticed Haley gets up in the certain games, Haley will go up in the attack. Like other games, she'll just be like, nah, I'm gonna stay here. But some games, I don't know if that's probably is a Seb choice, but she she can get up there and mix it up as well and take a shot or two.
One of the glories of moving out of outside back.
That's what this league needs. And Lori, I'm sure you can remember back in the day we were playing and we were all just happy to be here. The fans didn't even really care who won. We were just happy. And this league needs that competition. This is an entertainment business. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain the fans.
It's been entertaining, no doubt about that. How did that sneak through from Labonta? Chewinga. That will test Morehouse. Buried wide. Kansas City's
Chewinga was very frustrated.
Some of the passing plays that Labonta and the midfield players for Kansas were that was a really nice sequence there. They did a few throughout the game. They've got some really creative midfielders, definitely. You can see their strengths in this game.
A potential shield-worthy season requires a win tonight, most likely. DiBernardo outside.
Oh, she came in the second half.
Prodded away. Still it's Cooper. Now it's Wheeler.
Yeah, Cooper came in and she was a beast on the flank.
Cooper was still mad from the last game, and she was like, "I'm gonna show you."
Yeah, Cooper came in and she was beast.
It's a different problem for Carrie, right? It was a different, and that's the same thing with Evelina. Like the subs for both teams changing the game.
And this hit from a long way out, and it'll hit the stanchion. Holds the netting up.
Ilya, and that's what Michelle Cooper brings to this team. They pin defenses back, makes it a lot more difficult for them to be able just to play out of the back.
Bia able to touch this ahead. Sprinting forward, Cooper from Mace.
Right there.
Cooper steps inside.
And who's there?
Emily Sams.
Telling you.
Emily Sams for USA Women's National Team, and not just the bench, put this woman in the team. Like, come on, dude. This
Yeah,
whole
man.
game,
Come
she's just
on.
making some insane tackles. Like, she comes out of
Insane.
nowhere.
Clutch.
I mean, yeah, it's just that kind of grit and determination from a center back that makes them next level, that
Yeah.
makes them on that sort of like, you're not getting past me kind of mentality.
Yeah, not only that,
Final
like
winner.
it passes around, like, so. I mean, she passes that attitude,
Yeah.
that aura to Corey, to Carrie, even to Anna. You know what I mean? So I feel like we gotta have like, if we really want to win a championship, if Orlando wants to win a championship, that's a type of mentality you gotta have always in every game, even against Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, we need Emily on point. We need Anna on point. We need Marta on point. We need,
Everyone needs
Banda
to be
on
on
point.
We need to continue riding the wave, not pun intended.
Well, they're not writing anything, bro. They're very flat wave. They're like a puddle right now. This is a splash.
Your
Anyway.
your favorite player.
Yeah.
She's
Back
gonna
to
go
the
for coaching,
highlight.
apparently.
No, that's
She's gonna go for coaching.
no.
Intervention from Emily Sams at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, or we'll take you there just as soon as we're done with the Pulse game in this stream. Won't want to miss that game. Teams 6th and 8th in the NWSL table.
We got Marta,
Number
man.
1 and number 3. It's Marta. Marta from the post ball just touched the.
Dude, that would have been.
How many times have we like Schultz with it instead of Saints? Like,
Schultz.
Martha does the step over, turn, twirl, like bangs it in the bottom corner. I mean, what do we need to do?
Marta
to
should
beat this
never.
keeper?
Honestly, like, every time I see Marta play, dude, like, I know it's gonna sound really bad what I'm about to say, but just don't retire, Marta. Like, I'm telling you, like, hashtag Marta forever.
It's just, like, most of the time you're like, there's Marta, and then just she does these insane things. You're like, oh, I forget you can just do that whenever you choose. Like, she has a moment every match where, I mean, last game it was the banger of a goal she scored. It's just, if you're sleeping for a second and you give a bit of space and Marta's feeling it. Oh, I'm sure it's in the highlights in a bit, but the bit where she gets hit in the face, Luis, with the ball.
That is ridiculous.
And she just like, I saw it like on her face. She just uses it like it's like power. She's like, yeah, okay. And she's like, play on, play. Everyone's like, you okay? She's like, no, whatever, play on. And then like right after, she just like slaps her chest. She's just so pumped. It's like, and this is like the 85th minute of the game or whatever. It's just, Marta is, she's everything you want. She's the GOAT.
Yeah,
she's
the GOAT.
The GOAT both in mind, body, and soul.
And it's funny. Fans that is probably the first time watching the Pride. They're getting to see like a true. I mean, I know it sounds kind of bad, but a true 10. Like, she is the true 10. And I think Orlando in any team, they haven't really had, aside of Kaká, when he came to Orlando, like, they haven't really seen a true number 10. And honestly, Marta, to me, it's phenomenal.
What Banda needs to be learning from Marta more than, like, she'll learn some skills and all the technical stuff, sure, but she also needs to learn about how to get the crowd going, how to be passionate, how to give speeches, how to, like, because that's a part of being, if you want to be at that level of, like, you want to take yourself from being a very good player to being a household name like Marta is, you got to have all that other stuff.
Away by Schultz. She has had a great night for this Kansas City team, no doubt. It's still on here. Whistles high. Marta claims, fires, knocked down. Schultz again. Pink slip out of Boston.
Oh, you're muted.
That is two great saves from Schultz in the same play, pretty much. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't be muted or unmuted at the right time today, bro. I'm getting myself. I'm out of rhythm. I'm all out of rhythm this Tuesday. I'm having an off game. Sub me out, Luis. You should sub me out. I'm gonna call for the sub.
totally upended her career before it really even got going. Here's Marta. Marta hangs the cross, and this header rings wide.
Another one for Haley.
Yeah, like we
It's
clearly
it's gonna happen.
We had some game plans of different attacks that we were gonna try. Clearly, like we're trying to use Haley and these headers from deep.
Yes, they want the shield, but as it pertains to trying to win a championship, we're all going to Kansas City at the end of the year either way. I know you are. That's where the NWSL championship game is going to be. All they need is a 2 seed. They'll play it all the whole way.
That was like one of the very few times that Corey got beat.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the NWSL
and she kind of gets the ball, just a little bit unlucky.
Championship game is going to be. All they need is a 2 seed. They'll play it all the whole way. Here's Shawinga. That was a brilliant interchange that just narrowly did.
Has a lethal attack as well. Has certainly been the talking point with Vlatko Donoski, keeping games much closer than they have with Bia back.
Look at that.
Minutes. Valerie has proven that she gives this
Evelina,
team a
man.
different look at the attack, so that will start to evolve even more down this stretch.
Vanda
1 against 3.
gallops into the final third.
Oh,
Nah, it was like 1 against 5 or 6 by the end.
yeah.
Of it,
It's like
I mean, it's like 1 against 4 turns into 1 against 5.
1 against 5.
And then eventually Adriana catches up.
Able to play it wide. Adriana.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm
too,
saying.
I mean, yeah.
Like the
Adriana
decision. It was just a decision making, in my opinion.
She also, I don't think just her, but like the whole team was quite wasteful at times. So when we get in these really good positions, we just need to be a bit better with the shot, a little bit more clinical. I mean, there's a lot of hard work to get in that position, and I feel like could have held on to the ball a little bit longer. I think that the shots from far out are just too hopeful and wasteful sometimes.
Marta. Good draw. Doyon.
Oh,
Crowd to their feet. Doyon. Ricochets across. Back toward
yeah, man. I was
goal.
like on my seat when that happened, dude.
Yo, Evelina almost did it all herself
Yeah.
here at the end. I mean, what a piece of skill this is. Let's look. So Morgan's on this field at this point.
That's why she's in the Swedish national team.
Yeah, and like look at this sequence.
Good draw.
She gets the ball, turns, takes 2 on,
Yeah.
goes through 2, and the other one.
Ricochets across.
I think she's going for the shot on the far post, and it probably would have got it if she hadn't have slipped. Just a great bit of play.
Back toward goal and wide. Appeal from McCutcheon that took a deflection. All's well that ends well. That's it. It's full time. We may well see it in the playoffs, and what a treat that would be.
Marta and Dabinia.
Yeah.
Brazilian goats here.
Yeah. Now, 411 consecutive minutes without conceding a goal. Phenomenal. Outstanding. Also, new club record for longest clean sheet streak. Right? And also, yeah. Anna Morehouse tied her season NWSL single season record with her 11th sheet. And Morgan Gautrat made her 100th NWSL regular season appearance. Now, happy birthday, Carrie Abello. I think we have to say happy birthday, Carrie. And also, Pickett. It was her birthday, I believe, a few days ago too. So, happy birthday to both of them.
We got a few comments here. Jay Texas says took 3 players on by herself, talking about Evelina. And then Jay also says thoughts on the ref this game. I tweeted some of my thoughts on the ref this game, Luis. I'm trying to find them here. Okay, so here's my tweets. The ref sucks. That was one. There was no hydration break, and there was no yellow cards for Casey.
Correct.
And that for me was the 2 most egregious things. Like, why are we not having a hydration break? Like, that's just stupid. I mean, maybe we're like underneath the, I don't know, temperature. There's like a certain temperature they have to get to. I don't know why we didn't have a hydration break at all. It wasn't clear to me, but it was definitely hot enough, and I feel like we should have had one. But then if we just look at the fouls in this game, Luis, I mean, it was a lot of fouls from KC, and some from us too, but a lot from them. They had 11 fouls all game, and she didn't give out a single yellow card.
Yeah, I mean, there was,
and it was like habitual. It was the same players going after Barbara and Marta and Adriana, and
yeah, there was no, yeah, they're saying that, I mean, there was no hydration break. That could become dangerous because, I mean, what if one of the players passes out with a heat exhaustion? I mean, it wasn't like the sun like blaring down, but I mean, it was pretty humid, pretty hot. Jay Texas says that foul on Strom by Scott and no card was a head scratcher.
Yeah,
I agree.
There was a lot of the like really questionable, like, she should have talked to them about something. Should have said something. A few more comments. Jen says the ref was terrible. She was one who screwed up Summer's dog. So yeah, I remember that. And the fourth was the center official who gave Seb the yellow during the Summer Cup.
Oh,
they ignored the hydration break signal. Okay, so there was a signal, and they
what?
Didn't. Wow, that's wild. So I just thought they were just like, we're not going to give one,
So,
but the fact that they just
how
both halves, so neither half had one. Is this her first time?
How's
I don't know.
she
What? Obviously not. She's been here before. We had hydration break, so that's wild. There was no hydration break. The humidity was ridiculous. The air was like soup. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Jay texts that foul by Strom on Scott. That's the one you said, Louise. Rachel said she has learned absolutely nothing. Several from both benches. Yeah, that
the
was
ref
like,
the ref belongs on Church Street.
The ref belongs on Church Street for sure. And also the other most wild thing I've never seen is at the end of the game. Like, I don't know if her watch was broken or she didn't know what the time was or what, but basically Anna wanted to kick off again.
Yeah.
She just told her, like, wait. And then there was like a good, like, 30 seconds. And then she just blew the whistle. She didn't go, like, so I don't understand. Like, that's not how this works. You just tell them to kick off, and then you look at your whistle. If you go, okay, now time, that's it. That's how. You don't wait, and then let's decide if we want to kick off.
Maybe her mouth was dry because she had no water.
I don't know. I've never seen that in my life. The ref just being like, hold on while I look at the time. Yeah. Jay texted maybe she had a bet on the game. Oof. I don't know. It just that might be a bit extreme.
That's some wild allegations right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it was interesting choices. Like, I've just never seen a ref tell a player, you're not allowed to kick off because I need to check the time and then immediately just call it. That's not how it works. You just kick off and then you can check the time and then you can call it if you really want to. But hey, I'm a stickler, old school for the rules, Luis. Yeah, so bad game for the ref, and one that hopefully won't be around again. I think also the no yellow cards to them is just.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't understand how you have 11 fouls and not a single yellow card in there.
It was Eras night. It was Eras night. Taylor Swift. Are you a Taylor Swift fan, John?
I know of Taylor Swift.
Same here.
I did enjoy the vibes. So it's like the dancing and the karaoke, and I think that was good. I think people were having a good time. I think there was a lot of KC fans there, and there was good vibes. It was good. It's a rivalry, but there wasn't any like real animosity.
There wasn't any bad blood.
Good. No, and I think that's nice, and I think it's good to have that. But on the field,
they were fearless.
I think the field was maybe a little bit more. There was a little bit more, revenge. I don't know if revenge includes fouling all our players, but apparently that's what KC wanted to do.
If anybody has a spare Eras Night poster, I have my young daughter. She loves Taylor Swift, and she watches the Pride here and then. So if anybody, like, they can DM the account for Louder and Proud, I'll buy it. I'll pay shipping, if anything.
I'll ask Kay. I bet she's got some.
Yeah,
she's always got some for the
yeah,
foundation. So
yeah. So it'd be cool to give her that. She'll be delighted.
yeah, we'll sort that out, Luis.
Yeah, she's
You
gonna go to the
deserve
concert.
your daughter deserves a poster. We'll make this
I'm
happen.
broke.
You're broke.
They're like
Luis is poster broke.
they're
He
they're
doesn't have time.
they're $1 million tickets.
Yeah, for to
It's
go
pretty
see her.
expensive.
No, don't do that. You're better off to go to
No,
Europe and
no,
see her there.
no, I'm not gonna go, but I know she's gonna go. She's gonna enjoy herself for her birthday.
Alrighty, well, let's move on. Talk about our next topic, Luis. Someone who we talked about already, but Morgan Gautrat has a new contract. This was announced
For sure.
earlier this week. Another one of our players that we've seen a trend really like over the summer and into the fall from Haley, just locking down a lot of players into more years. Morgan, I think, is a veteran of this league, someone that we signed
Yeah.
off the back of having some injury problems, and we backed her to come back from those injury problems, and she has, and she's been out a few times here and there. She suffers, I think, with some concussions, but when she's on the field, she's a great D mid, and I think just another sort of reliable asset in this team. Somebody that's obviously worked with Haley before in the past, and is just a great team player. And I don't think she might not start every game. I don't think that's a problem. I think she's a good squad player for us who knows her role, knows what she's doing. And I think it's great that we've, managed to sort of, I don't know if we've revived her career, Luis. Would you say that, or is it more just that she's found a home with us?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the group embraced her since she arrived. I mean, she came in a trade with Kansas City for $50,000 in allocation money, and also a 2024 international spot to the current. So, look, honestly, like I feel she's been great. She's grown up in Florida, playing, obviously she's playing in a lot of important teams. She played in France for Lyon, and she's gone to the World Cup under 20s, under 17. So just a lot of baggage and experience that it's someone that's definitely going to be able to, because we have such a young core. Like they need people that they can talk to and say, hey, you've been through this in the past, like, how's Europe, and how is living in France and things like that. And I feel like she's definitely somebody very important now for the group, and she's a phenomenal D-mid. I think she complements very well when they play the double pivot with Haley. So if you want to really hunker down and you really want to park the bus, Morgan and Haley are your best bet right there, alongside with her back line. So I feel like it's we're gonna have more moments with Morgan. I feel she definitely has a lot left in the tank, and I'm just happy that she's able to stay in Orlando one more year, hopefully.
For sure. I mean, obviously, like Jay Texas here says, young players can learn a lot from her. It's just a great asset to have around the team, and I actually forgot that we signed her from Kansas City. So
Yeah,
their loss. I say they could have used her. That's
if y'all remember when
their loss.
Angelina was injured,
Yeah.
she had a lot of minutes, and the team kept
Mhm.
winning, and kept rising up. So I mean, you gotta, she did her job. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
the cool thing about this group is that when one player is like injured or sidelined, the whole team rallies the player. Like the way they embrace Simone Charlie, for example. Like, such a bummer, she got injured, but she's in every picture. Like, she's part of the group, and I feel like that's amazing. Luana as well, so I think that's the core of the culture of this club and the group, that they're forming. So it's fantastic. So I'm happy that Morgan's able to stay.
For sure. I'm excited for Morgan and Haley, another player that she's locked down for the future. So We're looking like we're going to have a lot of these players here next year. We got a comment here from Tom. Tom says, yes, I would also like to see Evelina, among others, start, but I'm sure Coach wants to secure a top 2 finish first, and then we'll be more generous with sitting veterans. I probably agree with that. I could see,
Yeah,
I
wholeheartedly.
think we talked about, Luis, that there's an opportunity maybe if we continue to win around about the Portland game, a
That's
few,
right.
2 or 3 games away from the end of the season, we might have wrapped things up. That's not me getting too ahead of ourselves. That's just the math.
It's amazing, though,
I know
man.
it is incredible, and I feel weird every time I say that, like I do
Guys,
anything
you guys
else.
gotta do the Supporter Shield merch. If the club's listening, I will buy it.
Luis wins. I mean, now you're really getting ahead of yourself, Luis. But
Yeah.
anyway, what I was gonna say about Tom is if that does happen when we've wrapped things up and we are the winners for the end of the season, yes, I think that's definitely an option to get some more minutes for even more of the game changers, as Haley would say. Because in the playoffs too, like we don't know, that's a whole other thing. But if Evelina has seen a lot of minutes by the time the playoffs come, she's going to be a real asset. And other players. Imagine if we had Grace right now, Luis.
I mean,
Imagine,
it would have been great.
imagine if we had Luana. Like, there's so
Well,
many.
Viv is coming back,
Yeah,
so
Viv is coming back. That's one we haven't even talked about. Viviana Villacota is coming back, so maybe we'll see some minutes with her potentially going forward as well. But thanks for your comment, Tom. Appreciate you being
yeah, I
here
appreciate it, Tom.
with us. Everybody else, drop your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And now we're gonna go talk a little bit about Bay FC, Luis. New team in the league. We played them already once this year. They are showing signs of improvement, Bay FC. They are definitely a sort of dark horse into the playoff team. That's what I would say. And I know that they've got some assets on their team as well, just like us, with a lot of speed, a lot of pace, as well as some larger players. But here they are down on 8th, so they're right below Chicago and right above Racing Louisville. So Racing Louisville, I think, are definitely this is an interesting battle down this part of the table, Luis. It doesn't matter for us. We're not involved in this at all. But let's for the people struggling to get in the playoffs, like we might have been last year. Let's look at what's going on. Angel City, Racing Louisville, Bay FC, Chicago. I think Bay FC are a very good shot of making it in the playoffs. They're going to have to watch out for the Rain, who are doing really well and coming up from a low position. But I think I can see them maybe even pushing further up into 6th or 7th. So this is a team that has, they've got some good results recently. They played a friendly against Barcelona,
And then they
lost,
got
but
killed.
yeah, but they beat the Portland Thorns. They beat Racing Louisville, and then they managed to tie against North Carolina Courage. So, beating Thorns was a great result for them. But they've definitely improved from their early season form that was not good at all. So, Bay on the rise. Let's say that the tide of the Bay is rising. That's what we should say, Luis.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they got Abby Dahlkemper. She just she signed $50,000 in allocation money back in August. So Abby Dahlkemper is in Bay now. So she goes from San Diego to San Francisco, which is up north. Caprice Didasco. Man, I haven't heard that, Caprice Didasco, man, I'm telling you. Asiat Oshoala from Nigeria national team. So they got and Rachel Kundajandi, obviously the Zambian international. So they have an exciting team. There's a lot of people in the Bay that I have friends that are in the Bay that haven't gone to games, and they say it's a really good experience, and they're getting a lot of people behind them because they have a lot of expectations for the next few seasons because, as you know, the San Jose Earthquakes, a little sad right there in that town, but I think Bay has a good chance.
Bay has a chance. I didn't even think about this till just now, but this is crazy. Bay currently is and has a chance to be the highest finishing Californian team in NWSL
Wow,
this year, which
well, they have a
San
good
Diego
player.
Wave fallen off a cliff. Angel City are just not, they're just
Who?
not, they're just exactly who. They're just
Mm.
not anybody this year. They're just not interesting to me. There's not much going on there. It's crazy that Bay FC in their inaugural year might be the
Well,
most
you got former
interesting,
Pride players there, sir.
successful team. Yeah. So, but talking about their team specifically, obviously, like you mentioned, Luis Kudnaji is
Yeah,
an
she's a
insane
beast.
player. Oshwala, Matt. I mean,
Oh,
Oshwala is absolutely massive.
yeah.
And so big and empowering in the box. Just it's that sort of like old school, like massive, like I'm just gonna head the ball in kind of player. Like you just want to put
She reminds
crosses
me of
into all the
Lukaku.
time. Yeah, like just an aerial presence that is
Lukaku.
not
It's
matched in this league
straight
for
up
sure.
Lukaku. Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough night. I remember last time Kylie Strom had a challenge trying to get up
Yeah.
there and mark her and head away balls and stuff. So that's always going to be an issue, but they have been looking a lot better recently. A few comments here. Jennifer says BFC have been on a reasonably good run in their several last games. IIRC. What does IIRC mean, Louise? I don't know. Jennifer, tell me that brief. I must know. Also, lol, I don't think anyone expected them not to get killed by Barca, to be fair.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll be
Barca.
honest with you. Look, I'm a Barca fan, but I could tell you, bring it on, Barca. I think Barca picked the wrong team to play. You want to play against the best?
That's
I
probably
want to
why
play
they
against
picked them. Barca didn't want to
play
come and
against the
get
Pride. Play
embarrassed.
against the
They
Pride.
didn't want the challenge of the Pride.
Yeah, play against the Pride, man.
Jay Texas says Pride has done well in California, and a lot of our players get to see their family. Yeah, and we have done well. Usually, like historically, we did very badly going to California, but this season, it's been good. Our California out coast west trip. So
No,
this
Bay has
one,
also former FSU Dana Castellanos. So
yeah.
she played Manchester City. So I mean, she's
Rachel said I expected Barca to score more. Wow.
yeah.
Rough. Luis, any other thoughts on sort of their roster and their assets
Yeah.
you would have to look out for? I was
Look,
looking to see what else they got going on. I
look.
mean,
Yeah, I mean,
we know
it's
what their
just
assets are. We know what they are.
yeah.
They're definitely nowhere near Kansas City.
I mean, I think the Pride needs to stay consistent defensively. We should not take them lightly whatsoever. And I think there was a paper, a sheet that I saw online about the next few matches for the Pride that are coming up and her road to maybe win this whole league undefeated. And I think that's what they got to aim at. And in order to do that, you got to be able to stay consistent, stay, mindset wise, that the job's not done yet. They have not won absolutely anything, and maintain yourself humble and competitive. If they do that, I think they're able to definitely defeat Bay. Now, again, game by game, right? So if it's another win, even if it's a 1-0 win, like it's a win. At this point, a win is a win, and if the Pride is aiming to that shield, I think that they need to keep going and treat every single game coming up as a final. To me, I don't see them rotating. I know I had a couple of people asking me if they're going to rotate. I don't feel like they're going to rotate.
Rachel said, "Shh, Luis, don't jinx us."
Oh man,
You're good. We'll be fine.
I
We'll be
should jinx
fine.
you guys.
We gotta. I saw there was a certain outlet that did a whole thing on like, what if the question that
What?
we're not going to talk about. But
Oh,
I was like, no,
I
don't
didn't.
talk about that. Don't.
I
Now
didn't.
if
I
it
didn't
doesn't
know
happen,
that.
I'm going to blame them.
No, no way.
Yeah. So
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, I got a little excited.
It's cool. We're all excited, and I think it's as we get game by game, at least it's going to get more and more of a reality where we're talking about the fact that we might do something truly, truly incredible that I
Incredible, man.
will not say out loud, but it's we're game a game closer to that being a very, very real reality. When we look at the wider picture, we'll talk a little bit about our. Do you want to do lineups for this one, or I think
Yeah,
the lineups?
people are also. I'm looking online at some of the
Yeah.
comments. They're saying some about Julie Doyle. If Julie Doyle is going to, I'm still waiting on that Doyle re-signing. You know,
Ah,
and then Pride or Die says, I love her handle. It's Purple Fluffs United. There you go. Might be off topic, but I wish the Pride have half the attendance City does. I always wonder if the team is being marketed enough. I've also noticed that since inception of the Pride and City has never had a doubleheader. Hope to see that next season. I was gonna say that too. I think it would be a great opportunity to have not a doubleheader. Let's do a triple header. Hell,
well, all in one day.
all in one day.
The problem with that is the pitch can't the pitch will get
Yeah, I
like
know, I know.
it needs to recover.
Yeah,
That's why
it's a doubleheader. Then I'm getting too
that's the
excited.
thing about that. The pitch
But
is yeah.
yeah, I think it'd be great to do a doubleheader. And I also commend, I know that this team is going to do incredible things. Every home game has to be over 10K, guys. I mean, City fans, like, come on, guys. Like,
Bro, this game got
bro,
so
like,
packed so early, and I really thought like we were gonna break the 10K. I tweeted
yeah.
like, "Oh, this could be the game." And what was it like? Before I
Yeah,
just really wanted to
it
text
was
the
nine.
marketing department like
I'll
you
tell you
couldn't
right
just make
now,
it 10K.
it was nine. It was 9,000. Hold on, I had it right here. It was 9,600 and something. Yeah, I have to look and tell you in just a moment. But it's on Twitter. I know that I wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 9,396 in attendance.
I mean, that's wild. Lineups for this one. Do
Yeah, sure.
you want to do them? Because I don't think we're gonna make any changes personally. I think we're gonna run back the same lineup. But yeah, I can see what you're saying about games, but we've got a week. We got a week between all of our games, really, or more. So I don't think we need to rotate.
No, I think at this point, I think you just gotta kind of want to get the objective done and completed
Yeah.
first, and then, like you said, if we're already gonna get the shield, like then then you can maybe rotate at that point, and again, we're gonna have players that are coming back like Bib, Morgan, and so there's gonna be a lot of depth. You have Julie, that Julie could play a starting role. I'm also waiting for that hopefully re-signing of Julie Doyle. But we'll see. So right here up top, Anna Morehouse or Macron.
Adam Morehouse. She'll be up for her. She now has 11 clean sheets.
Well,
she has the potential to get 6 more, and she's in the territory of setting more and more records as she goes if she continues to get clean sheets.
No, Sam's, Strom, and now we're gonna see Corey Dyke. Maybe see if how she can pair up with Kunda Jondi. Right?
Good. Same. We just run it back. Wow. Same thing again, please, Corey. Rinse and repeat.
And then Carrie Abello. Happy birthday, Carrie.
Yeah. Maybe here you were talking about Carrie's leg and her getting some rest. This could be a game for Carson. I would be for that in the sense just to give Carrie maybe an extra week, but maybe she doesn't need it. Maybe we're just being hypochondriacs.
I heard that it's just fashion. I don't know.
Just fashion.
Yeah,
It's because
I
they
heard
saw
it's
Trinity Rodman,
okay.
or who
It's
was it
kind of
in the
like
World Cup?
you remember like Allen
the
Iverson.
Olympics.
You remember Allen Iverson? Yeah, he had
Yes.
the sleeve,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that sleeve didn't do anything.
yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's like the sleeve. I don't know.
I think it's like it's like a certain player that I won't mention, but they had a headband, and then everybody had to have that headband
Oh,
and play with that,
sure.
So I feel like
What's your
that's
favorite?
what's gone here. We've seen Lynn Williams with the leg sleeve, and now everyone wants a leg sleeve, which is
Maybe.
cool. I don't know,
So
but Carrie, if she's 100% for sure, but if she needs a game, we got Carson Pickett. It's not like a big downgrade. We're just putting Carson in.
I think we're gonna see Angelina again. I don't know if you
No,
we're
I
gonna
think
see Haley.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you want to see Marta or Summer, but
I think Marta and Summer and Adriana and Banda.
Yeah.
I think Seb's really trying to develop, and the more time they spend with each other, the better.
Yeah.
And, the more that,
especially for the playoffs,
Yeah, we need the relationships and the, I don't know what you call this, the partnerships,
Synchronicity,
the
right?
synchronicity, the partnerships, the 1-2 is essentially what it boils down to on the field, is that
The gelling,
the intelligence, the gelling, yes, the intelligence of knowing, like, I know where Marta's gonna go because she goes here, and I know if I pass it here that Summer's gonna be there, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we need, I think, to help our offense a bit more and to be more clinical when we get those chances and don't just shoot them straight at the goalkeeper.
We can have a double header. Press
Maybe.
versus fans. That's be the first game. Only a half pitch, because the press, a little heavy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have OCB, Pride, and then Orlando City. You imagine that? It'd be a whole soccer fest.
We just got to build 3 stadiums all next to each other. That's the solution, Luis.
Sorry,
and then we could just do all 3 in one day.
Yeah, but
Anyway, let's read a few more comments. Jay Texas says Ali LEMOS on the U-20.
Yeah, we'll talk about
into
all
the
that.
semifinals of the U-20 World Cup. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that in a minute. Pride or Die says, gotta let Exploria pitch breathe. This ain't Audi Field or Snapdragon.
I was just joking.
Yeah. Pride or Die says, I say no changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the lineup of the last 3 games is the lineup. Seb has finally found it. I can tend to agree with that. And I think there's, like we said, some benefits in the kind of having a bit more of a stable 11. And then Pride or Die also says Anna the tree, that's what we've nicknamed Anna because she's so tall, is light years better than that other Pride goalkeeper. We won't talk about the other Pride goalkeeper and what their shenanigans.
Okay.
As well.
The former?
There's the former.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
Former
I know who it is.
big-time Pride goalkeeper.
I remember.
Yeah, the Anna is officially better than,
for sure,
to the stats. So
100%.
we can't argue. According to the stats, it's undisputed. Anna is our best ever goalkeeper.
Yeah, cool. And she's all about football. Well, I mean soccer at this point.
She's all about the fuchi ball. All right, yeah. Luis. Let's look right here. Proud to see Ali LEMOS. I didn't know her middle name was Olivia. Ali LEMOS, as we know her, in another game for the U.S. women's national team, U-20s. They are in the World Cup. They had this insane game. If you have not gone, the highlights, I don't understand what FIFA is doing, Luis. They made a 2-minute highlight package for a game in which there was like 3. I mean, I'll just show you the details here. Look at this. Look at the chaos. Well, look on the momentum here. Look at the chaos of this game.
Wow.
I mean, you've got missed goals and penalties, but also when you look at it in what happened. So those are the penalties way down here. You can see, just 1-0, like 0-0 halftime. Then Germany goes 1 up. Then Germany goes 2-up in the 92nd minute, and then in the 90 plus 2 minutes, sorry, and then in the 90 plus 8 minutes, USA gets about one back through Dudley with an insane pass. I think it was Ali who sent the ball over for that. I'm not 100%. And then USA managed to get another one back in the 90 plus 9 minute to tie it up. And then we go to penalties, and USA wins 3-1 on penalties. Ali didn't, I think, probably would have taken the next penalty, I think, but I don't know if she did or not. I didn't see all the penalties, but a great result, and I'm proud of Ali, and what an achievement. And now they're on to the next game. So USA will be playing again as they progress in the US the World Cup here.
So yeah, I mean they're gonna
Exciting
be
stuff.
facing North Korea, John.
Yeah, I see that tomorrow at 5:30.
It's gonna be an
So
explosive.
I might have to throw that game on when I get home
Yeah,
from
for
work.
sure. We're gonna have to. Yeah. Is it gonna be broadcasted?
I think they're on the FIFA website, but I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
100% sure. I just found the highlights. I don't know if anybody knows where we can be watching live the U.S. Women's World Championship. It's not a World Cup.
It says fans can follow the U-20 women's national team throughout the tournament on ussoccer.com. So I don't know if it's gonna be there. But all I'm saying is it's gonna be
Telemundo has better highlights apparently, and
Telemundo.
also
Okay.
FS2. It's on Telemundo and FS2. So nice. All right. Well, we might catch some of that tomorrow. Just to share what's happening in there. They're in Group B. Sorry, Group C, with Spain U20s, and here they are on 6 points, and they went through. So that's how they got through the group stages. And now in the knockout, they're onto the semifinal here. Also in the semifinals, Japan U20s and Netherlands U20s. So I think they got a pretty good chance, Luis, of taking it all the way. And we might have another, I don't know what they call it, what you get for winning the world championship, but technically it's kind of like another gold medal winner.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. It shows not only the growth of the sport, but also that your future is secure because you have all these athletes that are going to play for the senior level. So I mean, if you're world champions on the trainings now, I'm going to give you guys a food for thought for this. The U.S. will play in the Estadio Pascual Guerrero in Cali, Colombia, which is a very hot stadium. When I say hot, is like the heat index is pretty high. It's kind of like Florida, so I think Ali is not going to have any issues with that. Now, Japan facing Netherlands is going to be at the same venue, I'm sure. A little way after them, so the U.S. plays first, and then after that it's Japan against Netherlands. Is the first USA trip to the semifinals since 2016. A tournament that features 16 teams instead of 24 that contested, where actually the Americans fell to North Korea 2-1 in overtime in 2016. Food for thought right there. And obviously,
Amanda Allen was also playing in this tournament earlier for Canada. They didn't get through the group stage, but now that she's done with that, she should be on her way to, or should have already arrived probably at Lexington on loan, playing in the Women's Super League. So shout out to Ali as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Amanda. Sorry.
Yeah, Amanda Allen and Ali. Now, we cannot take the North Korean team lightly either, because we lost against them in 2016, and the thing is, their dictator over there. You know what I'm saying? He takes this win against the U.S. as as a massive life or death situation, if you know what I'm saying. So I just want to say it right now as a journalist. We gotta protect the players from North Korea. Because if the U.S. wins,
I wonder if that's gonna be
God bless.
broadcast like
God
that. I
bless.
mean,
God bless
I
them.
don't know what they, I don't know if they'll broadcast it, and what that deal is with North Korea, and they're very strange with media stuff. So
Yeah, they don't talk to anybody.
it might be a very odd game.
Yep.
We'll
But
see.
hopefully we see the U.S. go through and then face. It's gonna be a thorn on the U.S. side for a long time. Japan on the senior level in for both men and women. Japan, it's like always in our face, man. On our grill. But I
Yeah.
think it's a great tournament. I'm so happy for Ali and and for also for Amanda that participated in this tournament. And great job by Colombia, man. Colombia is showing that they are big in women's sports and they're able to host a World Cup with no issues. So phenomenal job by the Colombians as well.
Jay Texas says Japan beating Spain in World Cup. Shinta says, yeah, North Korean U teams always do well. At Jay Texas saying they might broadcast it only
Yeah.
if they win. That's what I mean. Like they're not gonna
That's
be it
right.
live.
They're gonna.
Because
The
if
problem that I
USA
have
beats
is
them live,
the problem that I have
gonna
is
lose his shit.
in 2016 they used that game as propaganda. That's what I'm trying to say. They used the game that they beat us as propaganda. And then that is wrong. You just don't do that.
Rachel says the broadcast will be 2 minutes long, and if they lose, they will crop out the score.
Correct. They'll have a dragon fall down and
it'll look like
him on top.
NWSL highlights where they just cut out the bits where the ref messed everything up because they don't want to. You can't see that. That didn't happen.
They're maybe gonna get the 3D lion.
No. He's bringing up the 3D lion. Oh dear. All right, Luis. Drop your comments, anybody, if you want to ask us a question or if you have anything else on your mind that you want to talk about. We're gonna do score predictions before we get out here, Luis. So not for the USA U-20 game, but for the Orlando Pride versus Bay FC Friday night. What is your score prediction?
I'll say it's going to be a 2-0 win.
I could see. I think I would love to see Banda get
Barbara,
back in the scoring. And I think she's frustrated, and you can see that. And
I could see it too.
And I think teams are starting to see more. They understand more about her. They're targeting her. They're doubling up, and it's difficult, but she's still making lots and lots of chances. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of those cases, Luis. Once one goes in, the floodgates will open, and so this is a great chance against Bay FC, a team that's okay, but not great defensively. So we can definitely have a few more chances than we did against the likes of KC, and hopefully Barbara can get a goal. 2-0. So you're saying Barbara goal? Who scores the other one, or is it Barbara brace?
Hopefully, I will love to have Summer and Barbara. It'd be great to see him score, or maybe even Haley. One of those headers that she's doing now.
That'd be nice.
After the trip to the East Bay, Orlando Pride is going to play 2 games at home. So September 28th and October the 6th against tough competition, Houston Dash, and then Washington Spirit, which is another pretty big opponent right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say I think Barbara, and then I'm going to say also I think Angelina from a free kick.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah. As you were saying, Luis, this is what the end of our season looks like. So Bay FC on Friday, then we've got Houston at home, and then Washington at home, and then away at Portland Thorns, away at Gotham, before the final day of the season at home to a Seattle Reign team who is on the up and look much improved. So 6 games away, Luis. We're 6 games away from the end of the season. And as we said many times, we are top of the table
when
with
do you close
48
it?
points.
When do you close it so you know that you're gonna win Shield, John? So people could hear
I think I think that
after Washington.
not getting a win against against KC wasn't like terrible, but it didn't like
Help
help
us.
for that as much as it would have if we got 3 points. So that kind of messed up all of my calculations, but it's looking around like if we continue to win, it's definitely around the 2 away trips, the Portland away and the Gotham away. Really, it could be around that time. It just depends. If we maintain our 4-point gap that we have now, then it was a 6-point gap. And that was like, okay, 2 games. And that's, so if you get to a certain point in the season, you have 2 games left, you can't do it. I also think a lot of the other things like Shinta's saying here matter. Like, so Shinta's saying KC versus Washington next match. That's huge. Like we kind of want KC to beat Washington so that they can steal some of their momentum away and like stop them gaining any more points. So, if Washington beats KC, we need to keep winning to maintain our 4-point gap.
Correct.
Now, if the gap gets bigger again, if Washington slip up and we keep winning, we get back up to a 6-point gap, then we're definitely looking like it's, around that away trip time. But I don't think it's going to come down to the last day, regardless, Luis. I think we're going to know before that Seattle Reign match either way.
Cool. Excited, and I hope to see every single City player too there when we play at home, man. They gotta come see the Pride. I see them at OCB here and there. I heard that they're OCB games sometimes.
You want to read our last 3
Sure.
comments there?
Pride or Die says, I get to see my purple flops next month when they face Gotham. Hope we get another dub against them. There you go. Let them both draw, says Rachel. My Pride or Die. It's our shield to lose, to be honest. There you go.
That's exactly the way to look at it. Prioritize, right? It's our shield to lose, and as long as we keep doing what we've been doing, Luis, we're gonna get there. So
correct.
I want to remind everybody, please, if you have not done so, go over to our YouTube channel and follow us there. Subscribe there. Is really what I should say. We have, over where we are now, like 1,000, almost 1,130 subscribers, I think, somewhere around that number. We currently got 107 people watching, some on X, some on
That's amazing.
YouTube. So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everybody who dropped your comments today. If you're not here live, you can join us anytime on Tuesday night. We broadcast live on YouTube and on X and sometimes on Instagram as well, like we are today. So you can join us there, jump in the conversation, drop your comments, ask your questions. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you to everybody, Shinta and Pride or Die and Jay, Texas, and Jen and Rachel and all you guys for being here. We appreciate you all. And if you want to listen, you can just do that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts after the fact. And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at LPO_podcast on X and also on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Luis, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, happy birthday again to Carrie Avello. Happy birthday to Carson Piggott as well. And then she had her birthday. Thank you guys for all your support. It's been fantastic to also seeing you guys. I've seen some of the fans also at some Pride games and say hello. So thank you guys for always supporting what we do here. And I'm just delighted to, we do our part to contribute to, to bring some people into the games as well. And, I have full faith that the crowds are going to show, especially when they're at the end of the next home games, hopefully. So it's going to be exciting times for the city. So, vamos Pride.
Definitely. We're gonna let Pride or Die have the last comment. Keep up the great work, guys. See you all next week. Thank you all for being here, and vamos Pride.
Vamos, Pride. Take care.